Hey, it's Allison, and this is day 3 of Ethany's Tarot Challenge. I'm actually going to do day 3 and day 4 together, um, and so I don't have to make as many videos. And there's going to be ones later on that I just don't really have much to say for, probably. So we'll see if I clump them together or just leave them be. Um, Nobody is more surprised than me that I actually have anything to talk about for this prompt, because last year in my Oracle deck, I showed the Oracle decks that I had and talked about how I basically never work with them. Um, and that was largely true again this year. And so I said, I'm not going to buy any more Oracle decks. So I haven't, with a few exceptions, because there's always exceptions, but there's kind of a good reason for all of them. And they were all, again, like in the last few weeks of December. So I haven't used them much at all. So I'm just going to talk about them a little bit and what I have. Last year I went into, I think my problem with Oracle decks is keywords, which is really weighing on me right now because I love the Brady Tarot. I love the artwork. I just missed the Kickstarter by one day. I didn't know about it until a day after the Kickstarter had closed, and I've been following it ever since. So I just am hemming and hawing about whether or not to get that deck. I'd love to know, for those of you who do have it and who didn't think you'd be jazzed by keywords, what you think of it. And if you would recommend that I go ahead and get it. I don't know. Again, Canada shipping, Canada US dollar nonsense. Although it is a really reasonably priced deck for what you get. I don't begrudge her at all for charging. I think she could probably charge more. Anyway, Oracle decks. So I'm going to talk about the ones I acquired this year, and then I'll talk about sort of how I got them. And then I might talk about a couple that I do actually use and I do like out of the few that I do have. I have fewer than 10 Oracle decks total. So where shall I start? I guess we'll start with this one. Maybe doesn't count because it's actually a Lenormand. I don't really know. Does the Lenormand count as Oracle in people's eyes? I don't know anything about really Lenormand. And I don't love oracles, but what I do know about and what I do love is Robert M. Place. So I purchased this when I was in a store that had it, just because I think his artwork is so exquisite. I just love his work. That's the guidebook. It comes with a little white book. It also has a companion guide written by Rachel Pollack that I also bought. Oh, I should have brought it down. Oh, well. And it's great. It's really good. I haven't had a chance to dive much into it, but if I am going to get interested in using Lenormand, is more than just like an intuitive oracle deck, then I can't wait to dive into that book. And it's again in order, because I really haven't had a chance to use it yet because I just got it a couple weeks ago. But for those of you who know the artwork of Robert M. Place, you'll know just how beautiful, his work is. House on the Hill. This reminds me of the House of Seven Gables, and also of Orchard Cottage, which features in the book Little Women. That's what it makes me think of anyway. Really homey country. Flaming Tree. And the book is extensive for talking about the symbology of these cards, the symbology of the Lenormand deck in general. But I just love his work. I also have the Vampire Tarot by him. That's just gorgeous, although I tend to only be in the mood for that around Halloween. And let me show you, well, Owl and the Mouse. Girl and boy, isn't that sweet and innocent and lovely? Good old Sly Fox. Bear. Let me show you the card that, though, really... I was in the store and I was like, oh, should I buy? I'm not going to probably use it that much. But then, oh God, they're all so beautiful. I could show you all of them. But this one just knocks my sock off. So the letter, not an uncommon card for the Lenormand, and you probably can't see, but it's addressed to Mr. A. Stoker, Brunswick, Maine. And this was to put it in the context of the time period of the Lenormand. That, of course, is for Abraham Stoker, Bram Stoker, who really just spurred an entire literary movement and vampire genre. And Place has his Vampires Tarot. And I was like, oh, rock on! Bought, paid for, cut the check. So that is the Burning Serpent Oracle by Robert Place. If you're not familiar with his work, it's just gorgeous. Check it out. I love it so much. And this isn't the only day you're going to see some Robert Place decks on this challenge. Okay, and then which one will I do next? I guess I'll do this one. Again, this is kind of a surprise to me that I bought this. It was a pretty specific situation. It was in a local metaphysical store, and it was the viewing copy that it was a bit battered and banged up, and they were selling at a discount because they had a whole new shipment come in. They're going to open up a new copy. I can't see this battered and banged at all. This is a bit. I thought for a long time it was a bit too Oprah for my taste. So I started with a really long card. But there are great messages in here. And I just thought it would be good more for journaling in the morning when I have to remember things in my day. Contemplation and stillness. I could work on some stillness. But there are some shorter ones too. Find a deeper meaning and personal growth amid the discomfort. They're really valuable, and the cards are beautiful. The card stock is fabulous. I love, there's a gorgeous one. Oh, and that's a great message too. Card backs there. So I ended up getting it for, I don't know, $15, $12 maybe. And I'm glad I have it. And if nothing else, it looked kind of sad and lonely in these sale items, and I thought it needed a home. And if my home is not the right home, I know people who would love this deck that I would happily gift it to afterwards. So that is The Universe Has Your Back by Gabrielle Bernstein. Good solid box. It's lovely. So I'm glad to have it. Now the next one too, I wouldn't have gotten if it wasn't such a great deal, even though I know people would kill for it. So I feel kind of bad. But because I know my history with Oracle and I'm trying to be sensible. But on Kijiji, somebody was selling the Wellworn Path book and deck set for $15. The box is really banged up, but we know I don't like boxes anyway. There's the book in pristine condition, as are the cards in pristine condition. So again, I'm not sure how I'll necessarily use these or if I'll end up passing them on at some point, but they certainly are beautiful. They're clearly for a Wiccan sensibility. Hearth, that's lovely. And I haven't, I've been shuffling them, so some of them are upside down. The Pentacle. I also haven't had a chance, again, this is just in the last few weeks, so I haven't had a chance to really dive into the book yet to really understand it. Reincarnation. The Star. The Sun, sorry. Very pretty. So very much chalice, all of these specific tools. So that's really cool. A horned god. The reed. So very Wicca specific, but it was just such a good deal, and it was just in my town, and just someone looking to get rid of it. I don't know, because I know it's out of print, and I know people really like it. So I thought, well, hey, I'll give it a shot. I'd love to read about that. And as it happens, so that is the Wellworn Path, but I also have the Hidden Path cards. And this is a crazy story too. I found these in Value Village, which is Savers in the States. So same author, same artist. I do not have a guidebook for this. And they were in this little bag, in a plastic bag with other stuff in the personal care section with like toiletries and discarded curling irons and stuff. I didn't know what they were, but I was like, there's cards in there and maybe they're cool. It was $2.99. So I got them home, and then I could see why they had been donated, because they were stuck together like nobody's business. Clearly something had been spilled on them. And I steamed them, I slapped them, and I read, like, how do you separate cards? And I did it, but you can really tell. Some of them are quite bad around the edges. Oh, well, this one's a particularly good example. So that one, even if I took the borders off, wouldn't matter. And also, I've never done that because I'm too scared. So this is the year. It's my New Year's resolution. I'm gonna border some cards because I want to try it. Because I'm always so jealous when I go on Cards with Scissors. Sorry, is that right? Tarot with Scissors? Tarot with Scissors on Facebook, and they all look so great. But yeah, so quite unbelievably, I've become the owner of these two highly sought after out of print decks. Who knew? Lucky me. So I'm gonna give them a shot, see what that's like, and then if I don't like them, pass them on to someone who will love them with all their heart. And that's it for new Oracle decks. I was quite good this year. The only one I paid any real amount of money for is Robert Place's tarot. Oh, sorry, I don't think I showed the back. That's Hermes. That's the back of the Burning Serpent Oracle. And no apologies, because Robert Place is the bomb. Okay. I thought just for a moment I would just talk about the ones I do use and love, even though I'm going over my 5. Soul Cards by Deborah Koff-Chapin. I probably don't need to show any of these. I feel like everybody knows these. I still haven't gotten Soul Cards 2, and the only reason is I think these Soul Cards 1, I just get so much out of. I love that there's no keywords. I love the size. I love that they're abstract. They're just so amazing. They go with every tarot deck, but often I just pull one to think about it. Where I am now, I mean, come on, just so amazing. I feel like these are you could use for all kinds of creative endeavors. Oh, so joyful. That was the very first card I pulled out of this deck, and I was like, "That's right, hooray!" Awesome, yay! And then we have Anna Turian's Oracle of Echoes. I know other people have this on their list because I've watched a couple of videos. Sorry. They're back to front, some of them. Oh, let's start with New Horizons, though. This is a glorious moon card. I talked about my favorite moon card yesterday, but then I saw the Anna Turi one again, and I was like, oh, God, that's such a beautiful one. Really positive, light and dark, positive and negative cards. Also quite abstract, which I really like. The backs are gorgeous, which I just showed you a moment ago by mistake. There's another one. Time to Soar. Again, I don't love keywords. I kind of wish they didn't have keywords on them. There it is. Amazing. And I am also a patiently awaiting Avalon Cameron's deck that Anna Turian was the artist for, and I don't mind the wait. I've been so excited, like for a year, just for it to come to me when the time is ready, and mwah, I cannot wait for that. And then finally, I'll talk about the Oracle of Echo. No, I just talked about the Oracle of Echoes. Sorry. Sacred Symbols by Marcella Kroll. That's the back. I really, really like this deck, and I do use this one. Sometimes even it has keywords as well, but the images are so simple that the keywords don't like it's already dictated what it is. So I just love how the fonts are different in every card. I don't know, it seems kind of retro spirit to me somehow, some of the cards. I love it. But I could use it more. So maybe this year I'm going to try to use it more. But other than that, no more Oracle decks for this year. Although Monique from Dead Serious Woo just pointed out to me that the person who created Anima Mundi Tarot is putting out an Oracle deck. And after today, the prices go up. And now I'm like, I want, because her art is so great. You should check that out for sure. The Creeping Moon is her Etsy shop. Okay, and then I'm going to talk about books. So I only bought one this year. I have a lot of tarot books, and some of them I haven't finished, so I was like, stop it. But then I heard a podcast with this Bakara Wintner, I think is how you pronounce her name, being interviewed about writing this book. And she sounded like really cool and fun, and it sounded like a really neat approach to the court cards, which I'm always struggling with a little bit. Um, so I haven't, but I promised myself I would read it in order, and I just haven't gotten to the court cards section yet because I got this with a gift certificate that I got for Christmas to my local independent bookstore. So I'm not all the way through it yet, but I'm really enjoying it. It's got a definite tone, WTF, in the book. It's not initials. Lots of swears in this book, which is fine with me, but it might bother some people. And I think the tone also kind of sometimes, that really hyper conversational tone is not for everybody. Not everybody loves it. But I'm enjoying it, and I feel like there's a lot of interesting things. It's illustrated in a really neat way. Lots of potential tarot cards that I don't think are in any actual deck. But yeah, I like it. And then I have some good tarot guidebooks too, and I can't remember if that's a different prompt, so I'm just going to leave that for now. Anywho, that's my Oracle deck and my books. My book. I was thrilled to be able to do this at a table today, so hopefully I wasn't bashing my computer around like I have been in past videos. Not one animal interruption. Can I get an amen? And so I'm going to check and see what the next prompt is that makes sense that I do, and I will look forward to seeing your videos. Bye!